What up, Whiskey Ginger fans? Welcome back to the show. If it's your first time joining the show, welcome to the show. Like it, subscribe it, share it with some friends. Leave a comment down below for the algorithm. Appreciate you. I'm out on tour, kiddies. This year is wrapping up, but your boy is touring. January, I'll be in Chicago. I'm going to be in Chicago, my hometown. I think it's already sold out, but hey, there's some standby tickets available, hopefully. And after Chicago, I go to Durham. Come on, Durham, North Carolina. Then Atlanta, Charleston, Philly. I'm playing the Met. New York, I'm at the Beacon. So privileged and happy to be there. Phoenix, I do 2 shows in San Francisco. San Francisco, we added a late show. San Diego, we added another show too. So San Diego, 2 shows. Boston, it's our 4th show. We got 4 shows in Boston. Come see your boy. And Minneapolis, I end the tour. All 4 are going to be available on sale now, and we're shooting our special in Minneapolis. Hey. Go to AndrewSantino.com for those tickets, AndrewSantino.com.
In here, we pour whisk.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
What supplements your sports? Like, is there a thing that you have?
I read a lot. I read constantly. I do a lot of writing and reading and stuff.
So on a day when your wife and your kids are like, your wife's like, all right, I'm going to take the kids, whatever, you can have a day to yourself. You're in the room reading a book.
Yeah.
What are you reading?
Right now I'm reading a book called I'll read like 5 books at once and just kind of like jump back and forth between
How
them.
do you do that, dude?
I don't know.
Do you ever finish them?
I do. Sometimes, but not always. If a book loses me, I'll just fucking there's so many books.
I have so many books that I just never finished. They sit on my desk.
Dude,
I read half of it and then I get over it and I throw them away.
yeah, that's fine. I like watch honestly, I used to be real like prideful about like I have to finish this book. Now I'm like, dude, there's zillions of books in the world.
Yeah, too many
Well, I'm
books.
gonna waste my time reading ones I don't like. And then if it really loses me, I'll be like, or I'll just like chunk it by little and read it over like 2 years.
Have you read a book twice?
I have, but it's like I've done it
This
before.
makes me sick for some reason when people do this. I'm like, you're gonna read it again, dude?
You get a whole
did
different.
it.
You get a whole different thing from it though.
I'm
If
sure.
you give it like 3 years and read it again, you're like, oh shit, I wasn't even aware of what that part
See,
was about.
Alzheimer's and dementia runs in my family, so I have bad memory. So I'm kind of prepping for that second half of my life when I'm just reintroduced to everything I used to like. So I'm
Yeah,
just
man.
putting stuff in my office.
Just getting ready for it.
Yeah, just prepping. That's
Dude,
my doomsday prep. Is the
if
shit
I
I
see-
don't remember.
If I see a movie after like 5 years, I can just watch it again. And I forget most of the movie anyway.
Yeah, I feel the same way. My memory's atrocious.
I have that's like my whole mom's side is Alzheimer's is like claims everybody.
Hell yeah, Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah, God bless, dude.
Our Irish brains are built for like 45 years maximum, dude.
Dude, these people. We read. I think we read it on Bad one time that when whiskey was invented in Ireland, for 300 years, 200 or 300 years later, they invented nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
And then the thing they invented 200 years later was road bowling. Is that right? Road bowling?
Whiskey was invented in the 14th century, and then road bowling was in the 17th century. There's just a gap on
That's amazing, dude. They were like, nope, we're just gonna take some time to just drink and talk and hang out.
Yeah.
Sing songs and shit.
Compile
but
the
no
great
writing,
songs.
no leaps of technology, no social and cultural growth, like nothing. They
It was just the
stagnant.
poets. It was just the poets of Ireland in bars. Just
But half of the poetry from like the 15th century, it's not. They don't know where it is. It's non-existent. They can't even find it. These guys weren't even good at like saving the shit they made for 200 years.
it was just they had an oral tradition. They just talked.
I know that is what's kind of amazing that you go there, you hear these like limericks and stories and all that stuff. Have you been to Ireland?
Once when I was like 14.
And you'll sit in a bar. We just went again. I've gone a few times, and you'll just sit in a local a bar and like they do this thing where they will chat up stories, and you'll hear these. And you can barely make out what the fuck they're saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's unbelievably tough to hear. And then you'll know other people have heard this before, and you're like, oh my god, this has been circulating in this fucking town for.
They just take turns.
Hundreds of
Yeah,
years.
it's crazy. They just take turns doing like the great heroes.
It's kind of great, dude.
Yeah, I've read. There was a guy. Who was the guy who wrote Angela's Ashes? It was Frank McCourt.
McCord.
Yeah, Frank
Yeah,
McCourt or whatever.
yeah.
He didn't publish that book till he was like 55. By the way.
Really?
Yeah, he was just a teacher. He was he taught at like Stuyvesant High School, And eventually, when he was like 55, he retired, and he was like, I guess I'll write this book. And he wrote it, Pulitzer Prize.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he just wrote he wrote 2 memoirs, but he talks about that a lot, about like growing up in Ireland and just like, dudes, you just ripping just stories about the great heroes. Cuchulainn was like the great Irish hero. And you're like, Dad would get drunk and just sing about the Irish heroes, and you'd be like, fuck yeah, this rules. Then he would just leave their family.
Yeah, dude. As he's singing when he goes out the door, what a like a beautiful memory. And the heroes and I go just off in the fucking hills.
You're like, damn, that guy ruled. I wonder where he is.
Yeah, where is my dad now? Your parents are still together, right? You grew
Yeah.
up in a solid home.
Yeah.
What a good guy, dude.
Irish Catholic.
Yeah,
6 kids.
But do they stay together for the kids, or they're still? You think they're still in love?
My dad was pretty. He would always just be like, "Dude, we can't. There's nothing we can do. We have 6 kids. What am I going to date somebody with 6 kids?" He's like,
I can't.
He's pumped on it though. He's always said, he's like, if it wasn't for your mom, I'd be dead, which is I think true.
Probably true. Yeah.
Health wise, that was
Yeah.
absolutely true. But yeah, for them, it's just. I think it was just kind of like, I don't know. It was just like, dude, we have 6 kids. We're now like, now they're like in their middle, late 60s. But it's like, yeah, he's like, what am I going to get divorced and get a girlfriend? He's like, I have 6 children.
Such a loser look too.
Yeah.
The guy who gets that girlfriend at like 68.
Exactly.
Just kill yourself, dude.
Yeah.
It's over then.
It is funny because she still like tortures him, like all day long. She's like, "We gotta cut the grass," and it's like, dude, you guys just get someone to cut the grass.
Yeah.
They'll stay out all day together and like cut thorns off a fence.
My parents do that shit too.
It's weird.
Yeah. What for?
It's kink. I think it's kink.
It's kink,
I
dude.
think it's kink.
That's how they get off now. Complaining.
They'll put in like an 8-hour landscaping day at like 65, like in the fucking rain.
That
They're
shit
like,
is hot.
It's crazy.
That's hot as fuck.
It is kind of hot. Just come down and just pass out.
An erotic novel about just fighting in the yard all day, dude. That's like every time my dad, he's so stubborn. I always tell him to, like there's kids in the neighborhood when it snows, that'll come around and do your driveway and shit. Nah.
Yeah, not happening.
It's not even money. It's not like they're tight. You can't afford anything. No, dude. It's like he's fine. It's like, dude, pay that kid to shovel your shit and come every day and clean up. There's ice. When I see my dad like running down the driveway, the icy ass driveway, I'm like, this is how it ends. You slip, you bust your head open, and mom finds you 4 hours later.
They don't care.
Nah, it's kind
They
of.
don't care. He won't retire. He's still working.
What does he do?
Demolition.
Oh, that's right.
And he's like, we had to carry these buckets of stone up a stair. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Why, dude?
Like, you have Guatemalan guys working with you. It's like, have
They'll
them
do it.
They're happy to do it. It's
And
like
they're strong.
he's right behind them, just like, fuck, this is breaking my ass. I'm like, dude, you're 65.
Yeah,
stop.
give it up.
Knock it off. But his big thing, that's always been. He's like, dude, I love going to work. I love getting the hell out of here. He's like, every time I can get out of here, I want to get out of here. He used to tell me not to have kids. He's like, don't have kids.
Shouldn't you fuck that up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna do that again or no? 2 and done.
I'm done. But my wife kind
She
of
wants
wants
more.
one more.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like,
3 is a cool number.
3's cool, but it's like, dude, it's so much work. It's like you want to reset. We're finally getting out of diapers. And it's like you want to reset the clock.
Go back to diapers again. Just shit everywhere.
It's for real. Like, and I can only. My oldest is 4, but it's like the first 3 years you have to sit there and watch them like intensively, and it's like resetting. It's just imagine 3 years. You're just done doing a job.
Doing it again.
Of like it's like 90 hours a week, and you're like, all right, I'm done this, and like let's start it over. It's like why?
But if she can handle it, you can handle it.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
If she's like, we'll do it, I should do
You
it.
can't not give. If a woman wants a child and you refuse her, you're dealing with like the female animal at that
They
point.
stone you in the streets, right? That's sacrifice, town sacrifice.
It's weak. It's weak to be like, if a woman wants a child and she wants to be pregnant and you're like, no, I'm not going to let you do that. She'll hate you.
Yeah, that's it.
Because it's like that's like their animal instinct to like get pregnant again. If you're blocking that, it'll just be terrible.
Yeah, you got to give it to them.
You have to.
Well, I mean, like a lot of my friends now they're all snipped. A lot of guys I know that they had 1 or 2 and they're done.
I won't get snipped ever.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I'm scared of the idea of it for some reason.
I am too, man. That's
I
like
don't know why I'm a pussy about it, but I know it's just I don't want it. I don't want to cut my nuts.
I'm not doing it. It's like that's your, I don't know. I don't know where it goes. It's like that's my life force. That's that's my semen moving through my body. I don't want to divert that cycle.
Yeah,
and I always tell my wife like it keeps me honest.
Right.
I gotta be locked and loaded. I can't be out here firing blanks, dude.
Yeah, it keeps you real. Then you know you're real. Well, you just, it's so funny. When I was young, my gun was strong. You could shoot really far.
Yeah.
No, it's not the same at the range. You know what I mean?
It's not at all.
It's just not. It's a bummer.
Remember my friend is like, I think he's like 42 maybe. And he was telling me about it because he was in his late 30s and I was in like my, whatever, like my late 20s or whatever it was, or early 30s. And he was like, yeah, dude, you're not going to be just like ripping him over your shoulder. I was like, speak for yourself. Now, like, at 38, you get kind of like the weak volcano and you're like,
oh no.
Fuck.
Yeah, it just makes it there.
I can still rip every now and again, but not like, I could go over the head back.
Oh
in the
man,
day.
I used to measure it. I was like, this is incredible, dude. I kind of, you know how you like mark on the wall your height as you get older? I wanted to mark the distance on the floor. I used to love that, but now, no, dude. Now it's like, it feels like when we were on the road, and when you're going up a hill. Look, dude. I'm 200 pounds. Like at a certain weight, those scooters, those like lime scooters, you hit a hill and those things are like, and they letting you know, like, you're not, this is for teenagers,
I'll
dude.
push. I have no pride. I'll put my foot down.
Dude, I have to get off and, I'll push like I'm on a skateboard again. But it makes me sad. That's what it feels like. My shot's like, it's like barely getting there, but I can hear it. I can hear it dying.
Yeah.
It's actually embarrassing as fuck when we were on those things. And Bobby's tiny, right? He's a short guy. So he's round, but he doesn't weigh much.
Really?
Like, yeah, it looks like it, but he really doesn't because he's small. Yeah. So he's probably, what is he, 5'6"? Isn't that what we said? 5'6" or something?
He's like 5'3".
5'4".
Is he really?
Yeah, he's tiny.
His shape is very aerodynamic as well.
Yeah.
True, he's cut in the air.
Round.
Yeah, we're thinking about putting carbon fiber on him so he can move faster through the day.
It does suck. So yours was chugging up the hill, and he was just...
He flew, dude. He absolutely flew up the hill. He had no problem whatsoever. And he's on one now because he's on he's on the one, it's on Wegovy. He's on
one of the other ones.
Yeah, he's on like the alternative because the Ozempic made him crazy sick.
Really?
Like crazy sick. Well, dude, we posted about it. We were shooting a promo video and he vomited. I'll show you the video. I mean, it's comical how he vomits legitimately for like a full 30 seconds.
It keeps coming.
It's
out.
crazy, dude. It looks like a horror film.
Yeah.
It looks fake. And then after that, he was like, I can't do this anymore. I was like, good, because I don't want him to be on. I didn't want him to be on it. Like, we talked about health shit right before this.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, the more pills, the more stuff you're injecting, it gets me shaky. I'm like, dude, just try your best in your regular life to just get a little bit of exercise, eat a little bit better, try to level yourself out naturally. He's like, fuck that.
Yeah, let me just
grab
take
the
him
pen,
at it.
dude.
I feel like that's a big difference between people. I'm like, I want to try everything I can the natural way.
Me too, yeah.
That's just how I am. But I know people who are like, fuck that, bam, bam, pill, and they're out the door. And it's like, I just get freaked out about that.
Yeah, maybe I'm a little bit of a pussy. Like, I've had a back issue for years, and I go through these cycles of like, I beat it, and then it flares up, and then it gets bad again. And then I beat it. But every time I've had a ton of people just go get surgery.
Yeah.
God, I can't do
it.
I just can't do it. I don't know. I'm going to try to keep fighting it until
back pain's like
debilitating.
emotional. Like if my back is fucked up, I get like sad.
Oh, dude, I am.
It
yeah.
sucks when
I'm
it
the
hits
most
you. It's
depressed.
like, such a piece of shit. My fucking back hurts.
Fucking
Like if
this
my
is
leg
it.
or knee hurts, I'm like, whatever. Whenever I had like back pain, I don't know what the fuck it does to you, but I get so sad.
Yeah, I think it's also like your central nervous system. Everything is attached through your spinal column, so
Yeah.
it does. Not only does it cause physical pains other places that they say are partially mental, but then it does get in your brain. You think, this means I'm breaking down. This means I will die sooner.
Yeah.
Like, this means I won't be as active or useful. It
Yeah,
does
exactly.
the animal thing where you're like, oh, you have to go in the woods and
time to-
die alone.
It's time to
You should go lay down alone under the trees, dude. It's time
It really
to go.
does. You try to pick up a bag of ice and you're like, oh, it's time for me to kill
And
myself.
then you go, and then your wife is being sweet and she's like, babe, and you're like, just come on, don't. I don't want to be that. I'm already embarrassed. I don't want to be embarrassed twice.
Well, back pain is weird because it's like if your knee hurts, you got to like rest it. You can't rest your back.
Yeah, no.
It's like the opposite. You have to like work through it and then I don't know what it is.
Well, I do physical therapy. I did sports therapy, like, and then I did physical therapy, and now I still do physical therapy, and then I go to these stretch lab classes. Dude,
How do you like the stretch lab?
Dude, I fucking love it.
Is it nice?
Dude, I love it. I got this fucking young, good-looking fucking half Asian kid who's just a gorgeous dude. He's jacked as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And he like folds me up in these fucking positions, and he makes me try to be more of a man. Do you know what I mean? Where I'm like, because he's such like a tough. Well,
I'm trying to follow this. I'm like, So he's just a hot,
he's
beautiful
a hot,
Asian man.
beautiful Asian man.
That I could see. I could see wanting to get, if I wanted to get limber for one person, it would be a beautiful Asian man.
Yeah, who else?
That makes sense. Now I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying.
But he's such like a tough dude that I don't want to puss out in front of him.
That's
so when he
true.
stretches me, I'll just go with it.
Dude, this is such a hard pause. But no, I totally agree. I'm going to be mature about this.
No, don't go the other way,
It
dude.
stretches me out, dude. I just want to please him. No, but I would feel ashamed if there was one group of people watching me be inflexible. If it was a beautiful Asian man, I'd be like, fuck.
That's the one.
Yeah, because if
They're
it's like
top.
a white guy, I'm
Don't
like,
care.
yeah, we're both inflexible, and it's just we're like, fuck, our necks hurt. But
White
like,
guys have no flexibility whatsoever.
it's-
yeah,
it's
we're the
kinda
stiffest. We're the
pathetic.
stiffest of the breeds.
we are the stiffest.
We're the stiffest of the breeds. The Asians, if we know anything about them, these cats are flexible. He just does it. He'll push me to a place where he'll go, "This hurts. I'm sure this hurts," and I'm
Yeah.
in fucking crazy pain.
Really?
But he's just like, just let it hurt. It's
Yeah.
okay. Like you'll get through it. And then when I'm done, I feel like I achieved something. Like I beat the pain. It's almost like when people, I don't have tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
My friends have like when they get tattoos in places that they tell me it's so sensitive. It's almost
Yeah.
like I'm gonna beat the pain. 100%. I'll beat the pain.
That is tight to be like, have you ever tried the stretch lab, pussy? To try.
yeah.
I
You think
do
you're tough?
stretching rules, man. I want to get like I let myself get super tight. I'm trying to get flexible, and I've heard that like every day as you get older, there's like I don't know if it's fascia or something just tightens more, and tightens more, and you have to like break that stuff up every day, or else you just become like shriveled up.
Well, look at your parents. Look at our parents. I mean, I see like how my dad walks around the house. It bums me out. And I grew up playing sports with my dad. Like, my dad was our basketball coach, and my dad loved to hoop. And then at some point, he like was like, I can't.
They get old. One day
can't
you
do
see
it.
them, and you're like,
Oh fuck.
They just kind of are hunched. And you're like, when the fuck did you become old?
He's like, when you left, that's when I got. Yeah, it's like when we left the house. That's when their body just withered away.
That makes sense though to finally just be like, ugh. I would love to let my back curl forward and just be like, I'm done.
Yeah, well, you'll have this experience, right? When your kids get old enough, like you'll get to let go at some point.
Yeah, I guess
when they're old enough.
They probably do just stop for like 6 weeks and just sit there like, ugh. 'Cause it's, dude, having kids is like nonstop bullshit.
Constant.
Nonstop, dude.
You travel with your family or no?
Not always. If I have a lot of like shows back to back, then I'll like bring them out. If it's like I try to keep them in the same time zone because it like just whacks them out.
Dude.
So I do it every now and again, but it's a lot, dude. Like I'm out doing shows till like 12, get back. My kids here from the time zone wake up at like 6 a.m. So they wake me up. So I'm like,
So you're on no sleep.
Yeah, very little. I'll crush a nap later today,
but tonight you'll get good sleep because you're solo before you go
solo.
home.
It's crazy to like the free time you have before you have kids. You don't realize it until you lose all of it, and then I like get a hotel to myself doing stand up, and it's like it's heaven.
What's that day like at the hotel by yourself?
I mean, obviously it's drop the bags and beat off. That's
100%.
That's
as you must.
Yeah, that's like you drop the bags. I'm like salivating.
You look right at the bed and you're like, get over here.
Just on top of the covers.
Yeah.
It's that. Obviously, I have this like whole fantasy where like I'll make it through a whole weekend without beating off. And
Impossible.
It is. It's truly impossible, and it's like I'm gonna stop. Just like because I like really was giving myself a hard time about it. I'm like, dude, you should be able to do this.
Wait, why? What's the point? What's the self?
I don't know. It's just a mental challenge. It's like I don't need to do that, and then like,
do.
But I'm like, I do exactly.
You literally do.
Like, I do.
Yeah, your biology makes you.
It does.
It has to get it. It has to go away and get out.
It has to. You got to get that out as soon as you get in the hotel room.
100%.
Because you don't want to be rolling around. I've went through this whole thing where like, dude, when like NoFap came out, I like bought in. I'm like, this is a cool idea, and it's like it's a bad idea.
Terrible.
You can't not come. Everyone thinks you can just hold it in for like 200 days.
No.
It alters your person. I've only made it like I think 9 days, but I know people who did like 90 days. I know one guy. I think he did about 200 something.
200 days.
Yeah, dude. And
so, but there has to be some sort of regression. Something happens chemically, right? There's got to be something that happens in a chemical way that affects your brain negatively to not come.
I would think so because I've only made it. Well, they say at first, they do say people get like clarity because I think like your testosterone.
Yeah, like
raises.
that Seinfeld episode when he like George is a genius because he hasn't jerked off. You know that?
I didn't see
it was a great. Like it was the where they tried to hold
That
out.
is hilarious, though.
They made a bet to see who could hold out to see how long they'd come. And George was like his mental clarity was like through the roof because he wasn't trying to fuck. What is it? Is there any sort of regression? I feel like
you become weird. I do think you become weird.
Well, weird. So it starts with you become stronger in your own like in your own self-conviction, and then you get a little agitated. You probably get a little like socially uncomfortable because you're annoyed, and then you get into building bombs in the woods.
Yeah,
Like,
I think there's a...
you get into like that the ladder drop off.
It's all individual, but it says it just leads to feelings of frustration, anxiety, or guilt.
See, I bet you that's what I mean. Like I bet you those the anxious, depressive, like those kind of chemicals are spiked through the roof. Because your body has to think, I'm either dying or like this is like something's wrong.
Yeah.
So then it's just an internal self spiral of like, oh, the world is against me and I'm gonna.
From my experience, again, I'd only make it like, like
9 days is nothing.
9 days was, for me, that was crazy.
But I mean,
like,
I can do a week. I can do a full week.
Yeah, now I did this years ago too. Now I could do a week easy, but it's like this was like years. This was like my late 20s.
Oh no, that's insane,
dude. 9 days, I would like my heart would be pounding really hard. It was crazy.
You're like, dude, my teeth hurt for some reason, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on, dude. I'm really confused.
I know a dude who did. My friend Egan did. I think it was like 260, something crazy.
Wow.
And
in his 20s or in his 30s?
20s. He's like a younger guy.
Wow, dude.
And it's just, but at one point, like you're just building up a bigger nut. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you're like, I'm being like chaste and pure. It was like, no, you're not. You're just a fetish.
Yeah.
And you're building up the ultimate nut. And then you're just like, and I think he was saying he like walked by a wishy-washy and just on instinct walked in, got jerked. And he was like, why did I, this has defeated the whole purpose.
Yeah.
And he just geysered in a wishy-washy. It was just
But that's probably exactly where it should end. That is the finish line.
You do got to take it to a professional.
Yeah,
if you're like
dude.
290 days in, yeah, you got to.
You don't want an amateur to
But no,
fucking
dude,
do
I've
that.
like talked to people like it like hurts when you hold it in that long.
Oh, for sure.
Like I know people who have done that without warning and had like a girl they were with just unleash it, and the girl's like, "What the fuck was this?" They just touch you, and you're like, "Ah!"
Put it away, dude. That's dangerous at some point.
It was a thing. I was like, maybe this is the answer. I'm like, it's not the answer.
No, you
You
can't. hold it
can't
out.
negate. You cannot negate like your base instincts. They'll completely take over.
So once you clean the pipes out in the hotel, are you sitting and reading by yourself now before you do shows? Or do you work out? Do you go out?
Oh, so it's like it's on. I have like my good days and bad days. A good day, yes, I'll work out or I'll fap, hit a nap. Usually when I get there, it's usually a fap nap. I'll fap nap,
Love a fap nap.
beautiful, and then
Yeah.
I wake if I have time. I work out. That's like ideally. A lot of the times I will just stare at my phone and watch like
Dude, I got
guys in grocery stores making black guys freak out. Do you ever see those videos? Where the guy, he's in like I think he's in like the south side of Chicago. Just like handing black guys like rainbow stickers with their purchases, and they just go ballistic.
There's a guy.
There's hours of it. I
Well,
can't
there's a
stop
dude
watching.
in a gas station. There's a dude that trolls in a gas station that's like in the hood.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, beautiful.
Yes, that guy.
And he's like, what the fuck you say? But he's behind like 9 layers of bulletproof glass.
Well,
It's
dude, now he's
amazing.
out. He's out of the glass now.
See, that guy's a lunatic. Get back.
It's the same
Dude, get
guy. I
back
think
in
we're thinking
box.
the same guy. He's
Get
out of the
back in
box,
the box, dude.
and he's attaching rainbow balloons to people's backs while
Nope.
they're not looking.
Nope.
But he does have a black guy working with him now.
Oh, you're good then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he also boxed a guy too.
Oh, he did?
He came out from behind the glass and was like, "I got boxing gloves. Let's settle it." And he like whooped the guy's ass.
Fuck.
He's got to stop. It's
Yeah,
not
dude.
worth the views.
He's
Dude.
100% going to get killed. Yeah. But also, the clicks are great right now, dude.
It's
Keep it
so-
rolling, man.
Dude, it's so funny just hitting a 40-year-old black guy with a pink lighter and having them be like, "What the fuck? Hell no!
Hell no.
They all smash the chips and walk out. It's pretty great.
What's interesting about that dynamic that I always see when he's fucking with these guys, that they don't just steal the shit from him.
Some do. Some snag like 7 Funyuns.
Because I've seen him like he goes to hand back change. I've seen he tries to rub their hands and they fucking lose it, dude. When he touches their hands, they're like, nah. Dude, their whole world collapses for a moment. Like their entire masculine identity is like, no way. No guys are supposed to touch my fucking hands, dude.
It's unbelievable.
Those are great videos, though.
Dude, the reaction is for real. It's like, because if you took like like our dads, if you did it as my dad, he'd be like, what the fuck? He'd be almost as mad, but it's not even.
He doesn't know how to get there anymore because dads are like so shocked that something so dumb would happen to them.
Yep.
That they're like, what?
There's another guy. This is like my favorite content. There's another guy called Everyone Loves Juan. And he goes around Walmarts and he'll go to like old men and be like, "Hey, beautiful," and they'll be like, "What?" And they get like, dude, they do. Their souls leave their body for a second. They're just like, "Oh, get the hell out of here!" And they get like flustered. It's really funny.
I've seen one of these though where he'll sometimes say it enough to where a guy almost flips, where he's like, "All right," and the guy he's like, "Have a good day," and he's like, "Okay." Like they don't know how to receive it.
They get shy. They get like weirdly
They get
shy
cute,
and boyish.
yeah, like
and you're
a
like,
little
"What the fuck?"
I like. There's one we were watching that video. He goes up to cops because you know how these civil warriors now they like go around and they like record. I watch these guys.
Yeah.
They record just a pit. They're like, I'm in a public space. I'm in a public space and you can't tell me to get out. Like this guy's so annoying. I love him, dude. And he's like, get your fucking supervisor. Get your fucking super. Look at how dumb you look right now. And the cops are so fucking mad. And the whole time like, dude, I want to beat this guy so bad. I want to beat the living. And there's a dude now who took that in a more clever way. He goes up to cops. He goes, name and badge number. And then it was like Diaz 4862. And he's like, good girl. Have you seen that guy? No, dude, it's so good. Cody, right now, we were dying. He goes, that's a good girl. And the cop goes, what? And he goes, that's a good girl. And the cop is so confused that he smiles a little bit. He's like, what? Dude, it's great. It's so good. That's where the corners of the internet are just so delicious.
Yep.
They're unbeatable.
Do you ever get when people pull cops over as citizens? They're like, I can legally pull you over. You must stop and answer. It's the same thing. Badge number. The cop's like, you're not pulling me over. I'm pulling you over. It's so funny.
Those guys, these civil, what are they called? They're like, I don't know. There's a name for them. They're like these like civil vigilantes or whatever. But there's a collection of them now, and they all post the exact same content. They go to like any government building, and because it's public access, and the records are public access, which of course, like, I'm glad it is public, but none of us would ever use that. And it's one of those things where you're like, why would I need to? I'm not gonna. I'm not building a case.
Yeah, it's like, show me the deed of my neighbor's property, and they're like, what are you doing?
Now, I want to see the line. I'd like to see the line now.
We did that in high school and look at what our teachers had, like conviction wise. You can find all that online.
Really?
See, but this is a generation thing. He's 25.
That's nice.
Like coke, other stuff.
But you're young. See, for us, that's so. It's funny because our teachers, the only time we ever heard about a teacher getting clipped for something was like years after we graduated.
Exactly.
Like my buddies, his ex-girlfriend's dad, his girlfriend in high school, he taught at the school, and he was a shop teacher. He was either shop or he was, he was a shop teacher. And years later, we saw in the paper he got busted for a prostitution ring. He was like organizing young.
He was running it.
He was running it.
I thought he was just like johnning out in his car.
No.
They used to put that in the papers.
Well, he was using it for sure. I mean, he was in on the game. But he would literally, he had like a ring of like 20-something-year-old prostitutes. Yeah, it was kind of incredible because you see this guy and you're like, no way. He was like
He was pimping.
He was pimping, dude. The shop teacher was a pimp, dude.
What?
You would have never guessed, dude. He's a nerdy little short guy, glasses, like like an automotive genius. I could hand build an engine, like super smart, quiet.
What the fuck?
You're like, if anything, they're gonna find stuff on his hard drive. You didn't think he would be a
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, he's an internal creep. He's
That's
not an
also a
external
very like specific function in the underworld. That's like it takes a real like specific kind of dude to like manage a bunch of prostitutes.
Yeah, Marvel reached out. They want to make him a villain for their next movie. They're like, dude, this is perfect. Automotive creep.
That's strong too. That's a strong pimp hand to have like a shop teacher all day just like tinkering on gears and just being like, bitch. These kids are stressing me out enough. I don't need you fucking around.
That is the next DC Marvel universe of like, they're going to run out of like spins. So it'll just be real stories that they can just kind of make animated. And this shop teacher who's a pimp, he's got strong hands.
That's a great story though.
In and out of the shop.
For sure, dude.
Pimp game strong. It's got oil dripping down his hand.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a wild story, but he was like all those kind of things we heard, like little creepy, like a teacher got in trouble for whatever. Nothing illegal and disgusting. You know what I mean? Nothing like kid stuff. It was always like
that's where you always assume it's like they're molesting kids. So if pimping, it's kind of like, all right, it's
kind of tight.
I can work with that.
Yeah, it's legal. Let him do it, dude. He's just organizing.
Yeah,
he's running a business.
So he might have just been like deep in the hooker game and then started like being the plug for all of his friends.
100%. I mean, you know what it was? Is like he obviously knew a girl, right?
Yes.
He obviously had one girl.
It's bottom bitch.
Bottom bitch. Bottom bitch, main bitch. Yeah. And she had a couple friends that were like, hey, didn't you and any of your lonely 50-something-year-old friends need some company? And he's like, yeah, dude, my wife is dead. I'm sad as fuck.
For sure, yeah.
Go get some of your friends for some of my lame friends. We're making $24,000 a year, and we will spend all of it on you. It'll all go to you guys.
That's a good book to read. Is Iceberg Slim's autobiography.
Someone else had said this.
Dude,
someone said this to us.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Because especially like back, I think that was, I don't know when it was, maybe the 50s or 60s, but you would like, pimping's a real weird thing to get into because you have to like find women that are just in like horrible circumstances.
Yeah.
And then you just completely like maliciously abuse them into like having sex with strangers and giving you all of the money.
Giving you the money thing is the
All
strangest
of
thing.
it.
Well, it's a power play of like such trauma from these poor girls. Whatever just awful fucked up shit happened to them, this feels safer.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
And you capitalize, and you're always like, you'll like stand at bus stops and just try to find like a young girl with bags, and all the pimps swarm her.
Yeah,
And then-
because she's moving to town or something like that. Yeah,
and
she
you
ran
want to
away.
get in her head and be like, look, I got you. I love you so much. And then you just slowly pimp her out and just get her addicted to drugs.
So
Take all-
dark.
It's for real. The evilest.
So dark.
Well, pimps are like, people think it's cool. They wear like cool suits, and they might be the most malicious criminals. Like,
Right.
he had this thing where, so he had his bottom bitch was like, she's down with him forever. And she wasn't, a lot of times your bitches will get lazy.
Yeah.
So as a pimp, you got to figure out what you're going to do. And dude, he started he would have the money from her and then Western Union it to himself, pretending it was coming from another girl and being like, this chick's killing you.
Oh,
You're
wow.
not shit. And he would like beat her with a coat hanger. It was fucked up.
Oh, dude. So
And then they'll come out and be
manipulative.
like, let me tell you something about it. It's like, dude, you're the worst
the
guy.
worst guy, dude.
But it was a crazy trick to be like sending money that was hers, and you would just save up 2 weeks worth and be like, damn, look at this other bitch is getting me. You're worthless.
Whoa,
and then
dude.
she got off her lazy ass and started going hard. hoeing
yeah,
real
but then
hard.
these hoes got up.
That's called a chili pimp. If you have one hoe, that's a chili pimp.
Chili pimp?
Chili pimp. They're like bottom of the barrel pimps.
Nobody respects a chili pimp. What's top pimp? What do they call? Do they all have names?
I think you're just a certified player at that point. You're just
It's
cold
a
as hell.
CP, yeah, you're
you're
CP.
a certified player. You got like
Yeah.
7 or 8. You got 7 or 8 bitches. It's like
I would love moving up the ranks of the pimping game. It's like that's like in the comedy game. You're like an open mic. Chili pimp is an open mic.
it's
comic.
kind of like that, dude. Because
Yeah.
then you have the elder pimps that like they'll give you game, but they're always trying to take you out. And pimps love seeing other pimps fall. Dude, it was crazy.
It's just like stand up. It's exactly like stand up.
It is.
The elder pimps are always talking shit about, and they can't believe when a chili pimp is like at their level at some point. You're like, how did that dude fucking move up?
They hate to see a young pimp rise. Yeah, they'll keep you
100%.
down. They will keep you down. They want you opening for them.
That is great to think of a pimp lower on the ladder opens for a bigger pimp.
Yeah,
He just warms up his hose for him.
They'll steal your hose. They'll take you into the fold and be like, I care about you, and then they'll just poison your hose against you.
I need to read this book, Iceberg
It's
Slim's
so
fucking
it
book.
is so it's like a terrible topic, but it is for real one of the
No,
best.
it's when someone has these like fantasy lives that actually were real. I mean, you have to indulge because you're so far away from something so
Yeah.
chaotic that you're like, I have to know what that's like because it's so fucking foreign. I said on the other show, one of my favorite books that I've finally finished again. I keep like doing the go back to was Warren Zevon's book. His wife wrote, and I've suggested it a million times. I think it's brilliant. You know this guy Warren Zevon?
I know who he is. His wife wrote a book.
Yeah, I mean, he wrote a book about his entire life because he lived such a dark, tumultuous life. Like it was just so awful.
Yeah, that guy ruled. I saw a thing of him on a talk show where he just had like terminal cancer and he just never went to the doctor. And one
Letterman.
day, yeah, he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
die.
Letterman loved him to death. He was like one of his favorite artists, and like, I think look, it was a sad, awful life. He was like he was a constant addict, and he did that thing where he would get it out of addiction, feel clean, and then jump right back in.
Yeah.
Then spiral in this weird. But here's the worst part. I mean, the best part, the worst part. Every time he went through one of these like terrible jaunts of like just disappearing, he would make a killer fucking song.
Damn, that's awesome.
It was
That's so cool.
He would just put out a fucking banger, dude. He would disappear. He would go get so fucking wrecked, and then find himself like in Bogota. You know what I mean? Like he'd find himself in a different country or a different. Like he would find himself in these situations where he would just move somewhere and disappear.
What?
Then he would write an incredible fucking record, and then the labels back then, because they put up with everything. Like nowadays, a label would be
Yeah.
like, "You're fired, dude. Fuck
Yeah,
you."
yeah.
But they would just keep sending money to be like, "Look, dude, he did just send us a fucking incredible song." And then they would think, okay, he's back. He's going to do it. And then he's like, nah.
Later.
And he would just disappear again, dude. It was awesome. It was just the fantasy of that, though, I don't think could happen in this day and age again, because I think just labels and the corporate, they wouldn't put up with it anymore. But for some reason
Yeah.
back then, they were just like, we'll keep trying with this guy.
Yeah, that's and it also too like you could keep way more stuff under the rug back then too.
Yeah, no,
See?
yeah, they didn't, no one knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like I saw this guy. You have like a video of him. He's just like, he's just in Honduras, like you fuck you pussy. Like, oh, that's shitty.
Just yelling out racial slurs at people at
Yeah.
the beach. You're like, dude, come on, man, just make an album.
I mean, Kanye was as big as you can get. You would think you could ignore all the stuff he was doing. He
Yeah.
He went full bore.
Well, dude, he said all the stuff that we were all thinking. That's really what it is, dude.
Yeah, that was one of the most entertaining things to watch. Just see
beautiful.
someone at the height of just. I mean, it's like he was as big as a celebrity can get.
We will look back on that as probably one of the most beautiful, beautiful ascensions and explosions into, like this cultural zeitgeist of chaos. Like he'll be forever remembered as like one of the greatest artists of all time, who had this like mental break or whatever you want to call it, but it will never like invalidate all the stuff he did. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
It's almost like the break was like beautiful. It was supposed to happen.
It was. Dude.
Where was he supposed to go? Do you know what I mean? Like
you
got so big. Where else do you go other than I need to prophesize until you guys like martyr my existence? It's crazy, dude. It is kind of crazy. He did level himself as this like otherworldly creature now. He's not. He's like superhuman.
He is. It's like, dude, it was funny too, because everyone, I feel like anyone who does like entertainment has that fantasy of like, I'd really love to like get a moment where like the whole world's watching me. I'm giving like an Emmy speech and I have this beautiful speech plan in my head. And he, for years, must have been like, I got to tell everyone I love Hitler. And he just got to the point where he got the platform up and he was like, guys, I just love him. I can't help it. I can't keep it in.
I have to tell you
just
the
love
truth.
Hitler. And everyone's like, whoa, what the fuck?
In here, we pour whiskey.
This episode of Whiskey Ginger is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or you're managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your terms. I've been talking about Squarespace for so long now, and that's because I use it and I love it, man. There was the first place I went to was Squarespace because they had beautiful templates to create a site that was seamless and fluid and beautiful, and I had no idea what I was doing. And now they're so ahead of where they were. They got Squarespace payments. You can manage your payments all in one place. Onboarding is fast and simple. You get started in a few clicks, and you can receive payments on whatever you're selling or producing or giving within, right away, actually. It happens so fast. They also have ways to, alternative ways to pay, like Klarna, ACH Direct Debit, Apple Pay, Afterpay, ClearPay. They got everything there in one spot. But the design intelligence is something that they really pride in, combining 2 decades of industry-leading design expertise with cutting-edge AI technology to unlock your strongest creative potential. They empower you to build your own site, make it beautiful and personalized, uniquely stand out. Whether you're selling content, you're invoicing people, you have SEO tools on there. So every Squarespace website is optimized to be indexed with meta description. So that way, auto-generated sitemap and more, you can show up more often to more people globally, so them search results keep taking them back to the place which they belong, which is on your site. And that's what you want. So go to squarespace.com for a free trial. When you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/whiskey to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Squarespace.com, you know where it is. Check it out. You like it? Squarespace.com/whiskey. Save yourself 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. This episode of Whiskey Ginger is brought to you by BetterHelp. I've talked about BetterHelp quite a lot on this show. I do believe in therapy. Okay, it is fantastic that BetterHelp is there to provide this service for you from the comfort of your own home. Okay, it's the holidays. It's great. It's also overwhelming. Everyone's going to be at the house, or you're going to be at somebody else's house. It smells like your Aunt June, and your Uncle Mark's out there checking the tires again, smoking a heater. And then he wants to ask you about what you've been up to and why you don't have kids and why you're not married. I know how that goes. But how do you stay good on the inside for you? Well, BetterHelp is incredible. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Entirely done online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire. No wrong answers. Get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. You got to try it out. If you want to talk to someone about anything at all, the overwhelmingness of the holidays, BetterHelp is there from the comfort of your home or wherever else you are. Find comfort this December with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/whiskey today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/whiskey.
Ginger. I like gingers.
It is incredible because you see him now, and he doesn't have the attention that he used to get. Mm-hmm. And I think he still thinks he could like garner that attention, but it just doesn't happen anymore. And it's really sad to watch. Like he'll go out with his girlfriend in Malibu or whatever, and She's naked. Have you ever seen pictures?
Dude,
She's
it's
naked.
my favorite section of the news is just what his wife's wearing and him just getting blowjobs on boats, and it's like
amazing.
Plumber's crack sitting out in his
It's amazing.
It is. I keep wondering who's writing the art. Who keeps following her? Like his wife's naked again. We see her nipples, and it's like, sweet. Thanks for the pic.
Post it. Yeah, post
thanks
it.
for the pic. Yeah.
But you know that's got to be the part of the conversation when they leave the house. Like I imagine, she's so conscious of this thing now becoming news every day.
Mm-hmm.
So she has to keep upping her game.
I know.
Like she has to continue to have these new outfits that are like not suggestive. They're just naked, but they're like sheer. It's everything is sheer.
Yeah, it's crazy. She
brilliant.
is just naked. She's under like a veil.
Yeah.
She's gonna eventually have to like take a dump on the sidewalk. And everybody's like, oh hell, she's still doing big things. This is
Rock
awesome.
and roll, dude. She's so right. She's throwing poop. Have you seen she's throwing poop at people, at fans?
It is funny because I mean, it's like I don't think he's drawing the same kind of attention as before. But it's like, dude, there's like one-hit wonders for the '90s. If you talk to them, they're still like, bro, like we're still in this celebrity life, and it's like, dude, nobody gives a fuck.
No one cares. Dude.
So it is a thing. Like I think if you do ascend to that level, I think it's hard to like just feel like, oh, I'm a regular guy again. Like it's all
it's
left.
over. You lost all the You lost the thing. Well, it's funny to think like the parallels of what we do. Comedy goes through these waves of like, you know, getting bigger than itself, which I think we're there now a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's too big. It's bigger than it.
And a nice bust would be good.
It's
hard
coming.
bust.
It's coming because
great.
COVID did it the first time.
Yeah.
And Burr walked into the green room. I've told this story before, but I'll never forget. Like right before COVID, and it was like, you know, every night was sold out everywhere. It was It was just incredible. And there was a bunch of people that had come to the store that night. You know, like Russell Peters, all these guys that have like Bentleys and Ferraris or whatever. You know, Kevin Hart was it, whatever. And Burr walked into the green room and he's like, "Do you see the fucking parking lot?" And everyone's like, "Well," he's like, "Dude, they're gonna audit us. They're gonna get us. It's too much fucking money." Like he was so offended, and it was so true. He was like, "Dude, they're gonna fucking get us. They're gonna fucking come get us. This is ridiculous." And I go out there, and it was like a Ferrari, like, you know, Tim Dillon's fucking Rolls Royce. I was like, oh my God, this is such a bad look, dude. It just wasn't comedy at all.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, just like the grace of coincidence, COVID hit and it like just decimated the comedy boom thing. And now it's too big now.
Yeah, it's rising again.
Yeah, dude,
it
trouble.
is. Yeah, it is weird, man. Because I was doing it just like mostly like open mics for the longest times, and I know there was like booms and like I started in like 2008. So
you started in 08, and then how long did you go until you stopped?
I would do it for like 4 months, quit for 2 months, do it for 9 months, quit for 4 months.
What was the quit because?
I would just be like, fuck this. And I would just like try to like, I would like have a girlfriend and be like, I'm going to just get a normal job. And then I would try that and just quit immediately and then go back to stand up. It sucks.
What were the normal jobs? Any of them fun or no?
I like tried, I did a lot of like construction jobs. That's like my whole family does that. And they were like, they were cool because you can still be like kind of a mutant and do construction. Like nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
But I tried working in an office for, I think I made it like 3 weeks. That was like, the more you do stand up and then try to get back into like, I went to school for social work at one point, got like my master's in social work, and I would like go to like social work offices and talk to people, and they'd be like, where the fuck are you? There, you become like a freak. You do stand up, you really do. Like I'm always telling like people like comics, I'm like, dude, stop romanticizing your life. You're just a normal person. But you're kind of not. Like if you do stand up for a long time and try to sit in an office, it's just, you say like one thing and people are like, "What the fuck?"
Ew. Yeah.
You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
we are normal people, but also I think there's nothing special. There's not. It's what it is your lens is kind of unique.
Yeah.
Like you just have your lens is a little off compared to everybody else.
For sure.
So when you say it, people are like, I don't know the fuck you're talking about, but that's kind of interesting that you say it that way.
Dude, and it's also like because again, I worked in an office twice, and one was like an internship in college. I did like I think 3 months, and I remember I quit the internship early. And then the other one was 3 weeks. And it was like, dude, if you work in an office from like 20 to like 40, I really think it gives people like brain damage.
Oh,
like
yeah,
low grade brain,
legit.
like low grade. Like if you keep a dog like in a kennel, it's kind of like I swear to God, it fucks people up.
It does
because they'll be like, oh, like they're just like they can't. It's like you're in school forever. You can't. There's certain topics, even if you bring them up, they'll be like, oh, I don't know, man, that's a little crazy. And you're like, dude, shut up, you
Dude,
fucking pussy.
That's like everyone I grew up with though. Back in the Midwest, it's like people when I go home, they've been relegated to, which is a great job. A lot of them have great jobs, but when I do say stuff, it's almost like I've said something so out of bounds and fucked up. But you're like, I didn't say.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. But to them, they're like, dude, I can't believe you say that stuff.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's a little crazy. I would like go in those offices, and I was like selling Adderall in the office.
You're fucking
It was nice.
shucking Addy on the
It was
side.
nice.
Dude.
I was shucking Addies, but it was like, yeah, I was. It is nice because you can get in the role of the office grease man, where you can just like start like selling drugs and like plugging people up to like because that pressure is always building in an office.
I had a desk job when I was first started out in comedy, and one of the dudes who was like kind of like a hero of mine. He was so rad. He was like, he's like, dude, you should do what I do. He did deliveries for us. You know, he was like a runner.
That's nice.
And he was like, you should do deliveries, dude. And he's like, get the fuck out of the office because he was a creative. He was like an artist.
Mm-hmm.
He was a musician and an artist. And he was like, get out of here, dude. This is too confining. You want to be free. And I was like, I should do what you do. He's like, look, dude, it's a little bit of a pay cut, but I get to come and go as I please. I drive all day, listen to tunes. I'm writing. I get to go have a coffee. I was like, that does sound rad. And then like a month later, I found out he was like just getting drunk on the job every day. And I was like, okay, dude, I'm going to stay in the office. Never mind. Never mind, dude. I'll stay at the desk. Because there was a piece of me that thought that much freedom would make me, it was a little too unhinged. Because I was like, I needed a little bit of organization during the day. Because then at night I could go do stand up all night long. Because if I had his freedom, it's almost like, oh, dude, I'd be getting in so much fucking. I'd be him.
So funny.
I would have started drinking on the job for sure.
Yeah, true. Just getting hammered.
Yeah, dude.
I worked when I did the internship, and it was a paid internship in college. They gave you a little bit of money, and I would like set my screensaver so that it never came on, and I would just leave the office for hours.
Nobody would know shit.
Walk around. I didn't do anything.
Great,
I had two bosses in different cities, and I would tell both of them that the other one had me doing stuff all day.
Yeah, he's got me on a run.
I'd be like, well, one guy was in like Albuquerque, the other guy was in like Kentucky, and they'd call me. I'd be like, bro, the other guy's got me slammed. We'll hit me up next week. We'll figure it out. And then, like, I would just pit them against each other.
That's so good.
And just wander around the city. And just,
They
like, go
never
get lunch.
communicated, these two dudes. I love that.
And I like would go travel with both of them, and it was just like, I don't know. They never really. And I was kind of doing like bullshit stuff too.
Yeah, but it's a lot. Almost everything is bullshit stuff. Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing. That's what freaked me out. Then you go to the meetings and everyone's lying. Everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm really getting the tires rolling on this side of this." And it's like, "No, you're not." I'm like, I'm standing and talking to you the whole time. We didn't do anything
Dude,
today.
I see what you do all day. You don't do shit.
The best is there was like a partner, like a high up guy in this. It was like a real estate thing. They bought apartment complexes. And the one guy like left the firm. There was like a lot. It was kind of shady. I don't know what they were doing, but there was like something going on. And the one guy left the firm. He was like really high up. And my other boss was like, I need you to go into his Gmail and delete anything with this subject matter. So they had me just deleting records of whatever like they told this guy. I was like, no problem. But I was in his email. But then we had the Google chat. So I was Google chatting like my bosses as this super high up guy. And I'd be like, yo, what's up, guys? Like, oh my God, hey, Mr. Reese. And I started like talking to them, and I was like, yeah, I'm in a hotel right now, just chilling by myself. Like, come chill. And I started getting like kind of hitting on them through this boss. Like, dude, and my direct bosses thought it was hilarious. I'm like, that's me, I'm fucking with you. And they're like, talk to this guy. And they kept telling me to fuck with other people. And then like the main boss emailed me all caps, like, do not use chat feature while in Maurice's mode.
You're like, dude, you kidding me? I'm your cleanup guy. I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
I know,
I'm covering
exactly.
up for your terrible crimes.
I
get to have fun too,
Yeah,
dude.
I'm committing fraud right now with you guys. At least let me fuck around the chat.
Dude.
But I would like hit guys up like, yo, I got a bottle just by myself. I'm kind of fucked up. Like, LOL. And they'd be like, okay. Yeah, it was so fun. And that was the thing. It was like that was the disciplinary action was a guy sending me an all caps email, and I'd look at it and be like, he's like 4 offices next. I could see him, and I'm like,
This is the top guy.
I'm like, yeah, well, that's kind of weird. He was like the legal. It was like the CEO. He would come in once a week, and he was like kind of a dickhead. And but the legal guy was kind of cool, but he was like second in command. He ran the office.
It is funny how you find out, not all the time, but you find out a lot of times when you get in these corporate worlds that you're like, wow, so many of these people get paid and they don't do anything. Like how the way that Office Space did that so beautifully, where he's like, what do you do here?
Yeah.
And he can't explain it. Like I worked with enough people where I would be like, what is your gig? Mm-hmm. And they couldn't really tell you. Yeah,
the less you do, the more complicated your job title is. It's like, well, I'm actually an industry analysis specialist. And you're like, okay, so
an
what
analysis
do you do?
specialist. Who do you communicate with? A lot of my colleagues are actually a part. There's a group. I have two. There's two
Team.
pods.
They're always
There's two
team.
teams.
Two
Yeah, there's 2 pods, and I oversee one of the pods. But what do you mean you what do you do with the pod? Well, I mean, look, Honestly, dude, you probably wouldn't even understand it if I explained it to you. It's that kind of thing.
I was like, I'm team leader. I'm a team leader.
A
Team
lot of
B.
correspondence.
It's crazy, dude. I didn't work in an office that long, but I didn't do anything.
No, no. It's you can kind of get away with almost. You can kind of get away with doing the absolute bare minimum, which we've talked about on the show. I'm a big proponent of that. If you are working somewhere, do the least amount of work you possibly can.
I'm also, as I get older,
low
I'm
effort.
jealous of office life. When I was younger, I was like, fuck this. As I get older, I see a bunch of dudes out to lunch together.
That looks rad.
I'd be by myself. I'd be like, fuck, dude, that'd be so cool to be with my team right now.
Yeah, with my pod.
Yeah,
Dude, me and my pod getting Jimmy John's. You kidding me, dude? I'm in. Take me, dude. Take me in.
Dude, I swear to God, I was just by myself all the time, and I would I would always just float around, just be up to weird stuff. And
Well,
I was like,
that's like my dad worked in an office for years, and the way he romanticizes about those moments, it is kind of fun. Like there is something beautiful, but he would be like, that's when and they'll have nicknames, you know. He's like, that's when Fatback and I used to go out and we'd fucking have a couple of beers at lunch.
get hammered.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, those were fun days, right? Like
that would be fun, dude. Getting a little drunk and going back to the office, that's when it does rule.
oh fuck yeah, dude.
It's like around the holiday season, everyone's face is just bright red. Everyone's like just looking at each other.
Yeah, my dad did a corporate job for he was working in an office his whole life, and that's why he was like so promotional of me trying to do this thing.
Yeah.
Because he got fired after like 30 years of loyalty to a company.
That's bullshit, man.
Yeah, dude. Turtle wax. Fuck turtle wax.
Fuck turtle wax, dude.
100%, dude. They suck. We've talked about it so much. Don't ever buy that trash. Go buy any
That's
other.
bullshit.
Go buy Mother's. Go buy McGuire's. Shout out to the fucking chemical guys. Dude, honestly, go buy all that other shit. Fuck turtle wax forever.
Fuck turtle wax.
Yeah, they fired my old man after like, dude, such a loyal, committed guy to this company, and they just axed him. And then I saw a change in my father for the first time as like a man, came to me and was like, years later, they wanted to offer him his job back.
Turtle wax came crawling back.
Yeah, they did. They're like fucking little bitches. And he's like, "What do you think?" That was the first time my dad actually asked for my like professional opinion about something I know. He just wanted like, as a I don't know. It's like it almost made me feel like, oh, he respects me as a guy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And he was like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "Tell him to go fuck themselves."
Yeah.
And he did, which was rad. But it is so fucked up that they toyed with him. They pimped my dad, dude. They were chili pimping my dad.
That's fucked up.
They tried to get him back, dude.
It's so fucked up, especially like in that generation. Like their huge goal in life was like get a job, like
and stay in that job.
keep a job.
Yeah, keep.
My parents would always drill that into me. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, no, I'm gonna quit a job as soon as I can.
Can't wait to quit.
I hate my job. But yeah, they all like, dude, if you got a job, like they were so happy just to have a steady job.
Because there was some sort of I don't know, like you felt like that was an achievement. You got a good job, you kept it, you built a retirement.
Yeah,
it like meant something. But
really
then they found out that generation found out that these corporations, they didn't give a fuck about your ass. Like they cared about you so little, but they pretended really well for a long time.
Yeah,
right. Like that scene in fucking. Like Christmas Vacation was that is like my dad's whole career. You know, when the boss is like, "Yeah, fuck you, you're not getting a bonus." Fuck you. You know what I mean? It's like that's my dad's whole career was like, "Wait, what? You fucked me after all this?"
They dangled, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he's like, "Yeah, dude, you're an idiot, dude. Fuck you."
Yeah.
So that's why my parents were very much like, "Go ahead, good luck."
Yeah.
You know, they weren't like, "We'll catch you if you fall," but they were like, "Go be free. You might as well try."
That's how my dad was. He was like, "You don't want to do construction. It sucks. Go work in the air conditioning. Get an office job." And then I was like, "I'm not doing that." And he's like, "Yeah, I couldn't do that shit." But he was like, and I was like, "I'm gonna do stand up." He's like, "Yeah, who gives a fuck? Do it."
They were cool about it.
Very cool. My mom was a little kind of a worrywart. She was always kind of like, "Give me a teacher," and I was like, "If all fails, yeah, I will."
You
but
absolutely could still be a teacher.
I actually would like it. Like I swear
Yeah.
to God, like all these jobs now, I'm like, I think I would like all of them. But you know,
You
it's
think
like,
you could teach at like a university level?
nah, I want to go like Dangerous Minds. I want to go like inner city. I want to go inner city, turn the kids around, save the kids.
You are a little Michelle Pfeiffer-y. I do see that in you, dude. I do see that. That's good. That movie was so fucking wild. Coolio, God bless, rest in peace.
Oh yeah, he's dead. I forgot.
He died. Like, was it last year?
I feel like, yeah, a year or so ago.
A year or two ago?
Damn, what did he
Coolio
die
died?
from?
I don't know if you want to know.
Autoerotic
Drug
asphyxiation.
overdose.
It was a drug overdose, but it was one of those where they
Overdose
like
of fentanyl, heroin, and meth.
Oh,
Yeah,
he was going nuts.
59.
59.
Damn.
You know what sucks about that too is like you can tell when you read some of those stories that he struggled like hard with addiction, and so it makes it more sad because I don't know what it is about celebrity public addiction. We
Yeah.
kind of like we ride this wave together, But when it's like quiet addiction, you're like, God, that's so
Yeah.
much more depressing.
Yeah, like Little Bow Wow was addicted to like promethazine for a while.
Was
Yeah, he just got fat. Little Bow Wow was just fat, addicted to promethazine.
Little Bow Wow got fat on fucking pro meth,
Yeah.
dude. That's wild.
Yeah, that is it's so right though. When they're quiet, like I didn't know Coolio was doing like speedballs.
Sucks, dude. Quiet addiction makes me the most sad for some reason. I'm like, oh, dude, let us know.
Yeah,
Show it
dude.
off a little bit, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Crash your car.
Like Whitney, dude, fucking blow it up, dude. That documentary was incredible. The
That
fact that her
does
whole
suck.
team was just like, we just can't control her. And when Bobby got a hold of her, it was like we watched it all burn. I know
Yeah.
that's gross, but it's like
It's satisfying.
At least we get to know.
It's the same thing. If we heard tires screech outside right now, we'd all go. And if there's no crash, you're like, fuck's the point? I just wasted my time. But yeah, there's something like innately just at least spellbinding of watching just somebody just crash.
Yeah, there's something about it,
Completely
dude.
just go up into flames.
Yeah, the secret drug, and that's kind of like, like a guy that I loved that I knew nothing about was Greg Giraldo, and then like I was such a fan from afar, and then hearing how, he went back in, and then died like the first day he went back in. You're
Yeah.
like, fuck, dude.
He was like an opiates guy, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens, man. Because your tolerance drops, and then you try
Right.
to do what you did before, and you're done.
It's so funny on such a weak level. Like I realize that, like when I clean out, I'll stop drinking for like 3 months, 4 months or whatever. Then when I go back, even then I'm like, holy fuck, dude. Good luck with H, dude. You're gonna ride the horse after this, dude. I can't even a couple of IPAs and I'm fucking mush mouth.
Dude, the heroin shit's crazy. I don't know, and it's like I know people who have done it and gotten off of it, but it's like it's got to be impossible.
I've had a good buddy of mine. He met his wife when she was struggling to get off of it, and now she's clean and life is great. But it is funny because it changes your chemical makeup 100%.
For sure.
You are forever a different person. Doesn't matter how much you used.
Yeah.
It's just the way you operate is different. It's like you rewired the machine a little bit when you do heroin.
Yeah, dude.
Everything else doesn't really do that, but heroin for sure does that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that like. That's why it's the best.
Yeah, man. It's just from what I understand, it just really just kind of like you feel like you're just wrapped in like your mother's arms, just like
man, let's
sinking
go.
into oblivion.
Do it, dude. Let's do it.
I know.
Dude.
It
Let's
sounds
try
fucking awesome.
once.
I will say though, it affects certain people. Like I've taken like Percocets, and I've actually drank promethazine myself.
Really?
Believe it or not, yeah, I used to sell promethazine too, unsuccessfully. My friend I like bought it. Me and my friend were younger. We're like, hell yeah, dude, we caught promethazine. My friend drank all of it and crashed his car into a hill. I was just like, the fuck, dude, you owe me $180. You fucked me up. He just crashed in front of my parents' house.
Fucking. But if you're gonna go out, dude, yeah, crash your car.
Yeah, but I've taken Percocets. I didn't love them, man. I tried it, and I was like, I get it. It is like you do kind of just get to like float on a couch for a little bit.
Yeah, you disappear.
Yeah, imagine if you're laying on a couch and your body just lifted off like this much. You're like as comfortable as
that's opioids.
possible. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I had
But
Vicodin.
it didn't grip me.
Yeah, no, I had Vicodin. Vicodin is an opioid, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I had Vicodin when I tore ligaments in my leg playing basketball when I was like 23 or something like that. And I ate those things like fucking Tic Tacs, but it made me so much more anxious.
Yeah.
My anxiety levels drove through the roof. I couldn't sleep at night.
Yep.
So like I felt I would get ripped, but it wasn't like fun ripped.
Mhm.
And then I told the doctor, I was like, this isn't working
I don't
even
like
a little
these.
bit. He's like, dude, just take extra strength fucking Advil or whatever. He's like, because the pain wouldn't really go away. It wasn't like the pain was gone.
Yeah,
it
you're
was
high
like I
as
was
fuck.
just fucking song.
Yeah.
I just couldn't speak for a little while. It was bad though. I just didn't like it for some reason. That never got a hold of me in the way that like, well, dude, we talked about this last night. Muscle relaxers like
Really?
Norcos and all that. Do you know those?
Yeah, I know people who love those.
Oh my God. I had the girl I dated in college one time.
Did you ever take him and go to the stretch lab? That would be decent.
Yeah, dude.
Asian guy would be like, oh my God,
Yeah, dude, your legs are behind your head. No, dude, I took him a few times in college. A girl I saw in college, she fucking loved him. And, dude, I got that. That I got.
Yeah,
That's
you're
the
like,
one
these
where
are
I was
sweet.
like, holy fuck, dude, these are this would be so easy to get addicted to.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like in college, I didn't have a car or any of that stuff. And I had a skateboard and a bike. And I'd fucking skate around everywhere.
Muscle
Dude, I would be on a muscle relaxer skating through campus.
That's awesome.
And, dude, it was the best, dude.
You
You really were like, dude, I'm flowing with the concrete. It's moving with me. It felt so free. But I did, in retrospect, I thought there was a moment in time where I was on the edge of abusing. I was right on the edge of like, You know what I mean? Like a couple more weeks of it, I'd be like, oh shit.
No,
dude.
muscle relaxers were like, and I just for some who knows reason, I never liked pills, and they were like when I was in high school, I'm sure it's the same with you. They're everywhere. They're
everywhere, dude.
And like someone their parents would be just prescribed to everything.
Yeah.
But muscle relaxers were the ones who'd be like, they couldn't get Xannies, they couldn't get perks. And they'd be like, I got some muscle relaxers. People like, sweet. Just gobble them
dude,
up.
you do. And you do. And you walk around all day real jello like. You're
People
like
like them.
fucking rad, dude. It's bad.
People did like them.
Yeah, the rating of somebody's cabinet in high school. Well, because in high school, I'm a little bit older, but we're kind of the same age.
Yeah.
High school, Molly, ecstasy.
You had the
was
E-bombs. Yeah, they had just phased out. That was like my older brother, the ecstasy was crazy. And then when I was in high school, it was just Percocet Xanax. That was
dude,
like, the ecstasy was still there.
We had ecstasy,
But the
big. That
perks
was
were
like the
ripping.
one. Like, and then you knew the couple of guys that could always get it. And that was in every single weekend. They were
Yeah.
like, dude, I will say, after you do ecstasy once, you're like, I could do this all the fucking time. It
Yeah.
wasn't like if you're at a party and someone offered a bump, some people would take it, some people wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, if someone had ecstasy, they were like, dude, you fucking a pill? It's like, dude, everybody wanted it. You're like, give me these fucking
What's
things.
funny is a lot of them were cut with like biker meth.
100%.
And then you would just be up for like 3 days.
Yeah, that's how 3 of my teeth are chipped, dude. I had honestly, that was the scariest part in retrospect. That the whole like you don't know what's in it. 100% didn't know what's in it. Like
Yeah.
we had shit where you didn't even question it. But now that's the fucked up thing. Now
Yeah.
you get something you don't know what's in it. You're fent and you're
die.
gone.
Yeah, you
that's
die.
fuck. No one I knew died when we were young. People get crazy sick. Couple kids went to the hospital, but like no die.
Yeah.
No die.
Yeah, it was just speed. People were getting all sped out.
Yeah,
and,
they were
like,
just too high.
Whatever else was in there. I didn't do Molly until I was like an adult, like 2 years ago.
Really?
It was unbelievable.
It's the fucking. Did you do it with your wife?
Yeah, me and
Oh,
my
dude,
wife
it's the
did it.
best.
It
That's
was
the best.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
real. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, in high school, I don't know what would have happened if I did that. But I
You
also,
and your wife decided to do Molly together. Was it like take a little trip?
Yeah, it was just we just got a hotel room for the day and just did Molly at like 7 a.m. and just kind of like just rode out the whole afternoon.
Amazing.
Then we went to a PTA meeting and I was telling her, I was like, we're not ready to go. And she's like, I really want to go. I was like, I'll go with you. We just sat there the whole time and I was like, it had like worn off, but you're still like,
Now
there's
you're still-
that
you still have
afterglow
it.
and you're like, go ahead. The teacher was talking. I'm like, she's doing such a good job. She's
You're killing it, Miss Markins. You're fucking killing it. That's like mushrooms. When mushrooms is done, it's never really done.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It still had that lag, that like, the
Oh, yeah.
after effect.
Well,
that
I've
always
learned
got
they
me.
come in waves. So like mushrooms, like when the first time I took a lot of them, I was like, oh, I'm good to go. And I like got in my truck and drove, and it was very much not over. And I was on the road like, whoa.
Yeah.
I drove for like 20 minutes.
Oh, how? That's insane. I'd had to pull over.
I drove and I got to like my friend's house, and I woke up the next morning and my truck was parked like on the wrong side of his street backwards somehow. And I was like, holy shit, that's bad.
You made it, dude.
I did. It was very scary.
I took mushrooms sometime when we were going to my buddy's Mike's house, and they kicked in faster than I thought. And I pulled over like 4 or 5 times. It wasn't even a far drive. He like lived like 2 miles from
Dude,
my buddy's house.
yeah, that's the one thing. I remember I told my guitar teacher at the time, I was like, I'm going to do mushrooms tonight. And he was like, don't drive. And I was like, I won't.
You can't. It's something about you
for like,
absolutely
don't
can't drive. on
drive. And I was like,
mushrooms.
no, I won't. And then I drove and I was like, he wasn't fucking
No,
around.
no,
It was,
I haven't
I
done
thought I was
them in a
being
long
followed
time.
the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
The road was literally going like, whoosh, whoosh, and I was just like, oh.
I haven't done them in a little while, but they are my favorite thing to do if I have enough time to kill. It's my favorite, but you have to have enough time. That's the problem. Is I'm like, you got to clear the schedule because I don't want to have I have to go do a thing.
No, or have your phone going on, or like realize you need like a whole day.
Put away your phone when you're on any drugs. Put away your phone. That's the phone is like the scare. When we were in high school, it was like looking in the mirror if you were too high. They were like, don't look in the mirror, ripped on mushrooms. It'll fuck with your head.
Yeah.
That's the phone now.
It is.
Don't look at your phone when you're
Dude,
too high.
the internet, hitting like social media and just being like, what the fuck?
And now seeing like AI videos of Martin Luther King saying wild shit. You're like, whoa, dude, I don't need this right now.
I don't like the AI videos, man. They make me feel so creepy
It's
when I watch
so
them.
uncomfortable, man.
Yeah, people love the AI shit. I'm like, I don't like it at all.
Somebody sent one to me literally today, and it was Martin Luther King. Like, it was a bit. It was an awful bit. You can figure it out.
Yeah, for sure.
You can figure it out. But it was an awful bit. And as I'm staring at it, I thought, oh, dude, imagine this guy's entire legacy to like the youth is boiled down to like saying racist shit. It's AI, dude.
I saw a post on Twitter, X, or whatever it's called, yesterday, and it was like a retweet of a lady put out a thing being like, OnlyFans creator does Thanksgiving with her father, and the father berates her, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then it was like community notes. They're actually married. The man has been in jail for abusing women. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what is this?
Is that?
He also has rape accusation. I'm like, what does this post even mean?
Yeah, how did we get here?
It's a fake. It's not her dad, but the guy is also like her husband, but he's been beating women. It's like
Community notes is really strange when they go, let us tell you why this post is fake or otherwise. And then you read it and you're like, yeah, but what is it? How do I know that's legit?
I do exactly.
Who's doing all this cross?
I guess it's just the numbers. I don't know, because it's also like before, just be like, hey, don't talk badly about COVID. And you're like, whatever. And now it's like very specific, and you're like, wait, well, I don't want this to be in my awareness at all.
That is strange that they really got controlling over any sort of jokes about COVID.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, this might not be a real thing, and like flagged it. It's like, show me anyway. I like when it does that. Show me anyway, or whatever. What is it, like click next or show me anyway? I'm like, show. Like now I don't really go on Twitter anymore because there's nothing entertaining to me anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a waste of space.
Yeah.
But if I do open it up, my algorithm somehow.
It's crazy, dude.
Dude, it's insane. And it'll be like, remember Faces of Death? That's what my algorithm is now. It'll be like extreme accidents. And it'll be like a dude getting hit by a fucking truck. I'm like, what the fuck? How did I get here?
Dude, I've gotten one.
Elon's like, give them the extreme accidents folder.
Yeah, dude. And then he'll just post a video of a flying car, and I'm like, I don't know.
What the fuck?
Okay, dude. Yeah, mine are like, I'll get like white MMA fighters fighting black dudes and beating them. Like, this is what a disciplined white male. I'm like, all right, that's enough of that. Wait, why you said I have never like gone into that in the algorithm. I'm like, why are you giving me this right? Why are you trying to radicalize me?
Showing them what we're really made of. You're like, what the fuck? No, dude.
No, dude.
Wait a minute.
I'm trying to see if anyone messaged me on Twitter. I don't need it.
Just trying to see how my flyer is doing online.
Yeah.
In here, we pour whiskey.
Hey, I'm here to tell you about PDS debt. No one wants to think about debt, but the cold hard truth is many of us are going to get deeper and deeper into debt to pay for the holidays. It stinks, man. It's not fun. It's not good. And last year, half of American consumers took on debt to pay for the holidays. It's awful. And this year, it could be you, could be me, could be anybody. It's never too early to start planning to get out, and my friends at PDS Debt can help with a personalized solution just for you. If you're making payments every month on your debt and balances aren't going down, PDS has solutions for you to help out. Everyone with $10,000 or more in eligible debt qualifies, and there is no minimum credit score required. Bad and fair credit is accepted. Save more while paying off your debt in a fraction of the time. Pretty incredible what they're doing over there. Good work to try to get you out of debt. I had a lot of debt when I first moved to Los Angeles. Had a whole bunch of it. I was trailing along, and thankfully I was able to get myself out of it. But a place like PDS Debt is trying to do that for you. So start planning today. Get a free debt analysis right now at pdsdebt.com/whiskey. It only takes 30 seconds. That's it. In and out. That's PDSDebt, pdsdebt.com/whiskey, pdsdebt.com/whiskey. Take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. Pause for a moment. Allow yourself 30 seconds of stillness. Breathe with me. Gently close your eyes if you can. Breathe, hold, exhale. Release the tension. Melt away from your shoulders, your neck. Let the calmness wash over you like a warm bath with a little bath bomb in there, smelling all good. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Get it out. You want to feel this sustained tranquility, huh? Then BIOPTIMIZERS Magnesium Breakthrough. It's incredible. A potent blend of all 7 forms of magnesium, carefully formulated to support your mind and body in unwinding. Unwind naturally. Relax, my friends. With BIOPTIMIZERS Magnesium Breakthrough, your secret is staying calm and centered no matter how crazy life gets. Love this stuff, by the way. My favorite thing about it, by the way, at the end of the day, after I've done all my due diligence and gone to the gym and gone home and came to the studio, I do love it. It helps me calm at the end of the day to get myself some much, much needed rest to recharge. And that's exactly what BIOPTIMIZERS Magnesium Breakthrough does. You got to give it a try. It's going to be your secret to staying calm and centered no matter how crazy this world does get. For an exclusive offer, go to bioptimizers.com/whiskey and use the code whiskey during checkout to save 10%. That's BIOPTIMIZERS.com/whiskey. It's in the description down below. Check it out at bioptimizers.com/whiskey. Give yourself the gift of deep relaxation. I saw yesterday too. I saw this bummed me out yesterday. There was like a crash in Piedmont, California. I think it's Piedmont. And it was the news all day yesterday was like Cybertruck killed 3 teenagers or whatever. But what's fucked up about it is like the amount of people that die in accidents every day from car accidents. It's a countless all over across the country.
Yeah.
But they pointed out because it was a Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, this is very deliberate. And then I looked into it. It had nothing to do with the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
They were just going too fast.
Yeah,
These
just
fucked up teenagers
car
having fun.
accident.
Yeah, but then I thought, man, that's so obvious media manipulation to keep saying Cybertruck crash with 3 teenagers.
Yeah.
Like, what would be the difference if it was a fucking Civic? Like, if the Cybertruck failed and it caused it, I understand that's why you'd bring it up in the article. But all it was they were speeding.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, dude, this is you. That's what I don't like is when you're like, this is you just trolling Tesla.
Yeah,
That's all
it's
you
just
being
a
like,
slant.
see?
Yep.
See what happens when Elon fucking buys Twitter and
Yep.
MSNBC?
Now we're gonna use this kid's death to be like, actually, it was Tesla, Elon. Yeah, it's like
It had
trying
nothing to
take-
do with them, dude. They were fucking
It is
flying.
disgusting, dude. It does suck. We're caught in the crossfire of just billionaires like manipulating information.
Yeah, it's
from
it
like
sucks.
multiple countries too. It's kind of terrible. I will say the one thing I've been enjoying is, and it's like I don't give a fuck what people do, but there are tapes now. You know, Destiny, the guy who is like. He's like a YouTube arguer. He comes always like, well, actually, and they
That guy, I've seen that guy.
so
Yeah,
a sex tape dropped, and dude, everyone's like up his ass. He literally, there's a tape of him like blowing a guy, and everyone's against him. And I'm like, I actually like his response. He went on. He was like, yeah, you got me. Like whatever. Sometimes I blow guys, and it was like, all right, kind of honorable.
Yeah,
but
dude.
somehow. Nick Fuentes, he's like from the darkest corner of the internet. He's like super he's like super anti-Semitic, like hates. His whole thing is just like, you know, he's like a kind of like a trolling kind of like, I hate the
Anti-Semitic guy?
Jews guy. Like
follow him. Make sure we start following that guy.
but
Yeah.
now it's a weird like internet karma. He's just been a nasty guy online. He's a pod goblin. He's a guy. He just goes and says terrible things online, which you know we've all done. None of us are pure, but he now I think like the Pakistani government or somebody has been putting it out that he got his dick sucked by Destiny, the other online guy.
Whoa.
And these weird worlds collided in this like accusation of like a videotape. So now there's guys who don't like Nick Fuentes who are going through Destiny's like supposed sex videos just to try to find
that guy?
anti-Semitic guy blowing. It's imploding. The internet's just falling on itself.
Or it's perfect. It's exactly
true.
where it
it's
needs
true.
to be.
It was a weird thing of online karma. It's like if you do deal the negative, it will come back somehow.
Why did that guy, the Destiny? I have seen him argue a lot. He's the guy. He's kind of has a lisp. Like, yeah, he has like a little bit of a lisp. And
Yeah, and you kind of do like
seen
seeing.
him.
It's like he's like on like the liberals get owned all the time. It's like people be like actually, and everybody like see this guy. Like some other guy will come into the video like this is exactly what I'm talking about.
It's him versus what's the change my mind guy, Charlie Kirk or
He's
whatever.
done. There's like the
Is that his name?
ideological. I do like the ideological bukakis where it's like Charlie Kirk versus 27 college freshmen, and they all come up like, it's like fuck you.
Yeah, I love it.
Everyone's like, yes.
I could tell by your blue hair that you're obviously not religious. And it was like, oh, the fucking like it's like an oh, everything is like an own.
I know.
It's like watching And One videos from back in the day when everyone's like, oh, fucking going nuts. He does like these baby little slams on people. It is funny because they're always circular arguments because they're so embedded in their position. It's almost like you're not proving anything scientifically. You're rotating your opinion.
Yeah.
So these are just two rotating opinions that keep hitting each other over and over. So nothing is ever solved, or even like it's never even like a clever win. It's always like, how can I say a thing that you just don't have an answer to? That's what all those things have become. How do you just not have an answer to this? Because you're either not informed enough or you don't have the stats in front of you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's all it really is. My favorite version of that is what's the fucking who's the old black guy that's like
Jesse Lee Peterson.
is that him, dude?
Is he like
He's old as shit, and he's like black people are their own worst
Jesse Lee
enemy.
Peterson?
That
Yeah,
guy's
definitely
so
Jesse
funny,
Lee
dude.
Peterson. I love that
That guy's
guy.
the funniest guy to ever live.
Well, explain to me how you being a whore helps you. Yeah, he like just crushes women.
Yeah, dude, he's
It's so
great.
funny.
He is incredible.
But you are a slut. And they're like,
what? Tell me why black people need God. They don't think they need God anymore. And everyone's like, look, dude, you're fucking. He goes so beyond. People don't have an answer to his chaos.
I know.
That's what's beautiful about him.
It is kind of nice.
He trolls so hard that people have, at least in that format, it's pure comedy. Like, and he's got to be self-aware. Like, he has to know it's funny.
Well, a lot of them now just talk. It's like an arms race to talk faster and faster.
Everyone
Or it's
wants to Shapiro each other.
Shapiro, dude, he talks so fucking fast, and it's just
Yeah.
like, well, actually, 1942, and you're like, you win, dude. I can't even.
I can't
talk.
prove any of that stuff.
I can't even think that fast. I'm done. I quit.
I need to write it down as I'm listening. The Destiny guy. Wait, I want to know though. Was the I gotcha moment because he's he's not gay, or
No,
what
he doesn't even care. He was just like, I wasn't really putting it out there like that, but he's like,
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I fuck around and get real gay and videotape.
It's funny that they ran out of shit to fucking come at him for. They're like, you suck. How about you suck? And he's like, yep.
He's like, yeah, he's like, sometimes I do. But
Like, oh!
they called him, but they like used that as being like, he had a horrible take about soldiers. And they're like, of course he's out here blowing guys because he hates soldiers. And you're like, dude, just fucking take a day off, dude. Take one day off and relax.
Trying to find those threads. It's
Oh,
like
my
that
God.
Always Sunny clip where Charlie's like pinning all these things against her, just like cracked out. You're trying to find threads over why him sucking.
Yeah.
'Cause he hates the military because and we have video of him sucking, dude.
He hates God. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, maybe, but it's like, it's just sad, man. You go on, it's like, we could be hyping each other up.
Yeah.
Imagine if every day everyone's on the internet being like, dude, you fucking rule.
You rule, dude.
You're the best. And you're
Keep
like,
killing
you
it.
fucking rule, dude. I fucking love you. It's like, you're a fucking waste of space. You suck. You ruined the podcast. You're like, all right.
Maybe that's the answer, though, what the next stage will be. This has to morph into something else. And now, like, with a second Trump era, I am interested to see, like, what the twist is. Because the first one was, like, this social, combative, fucking hate-fueled, everyone's mad at each other.
Yeah.
Maybe the opposite will be now.
It might break. Yeah. The fever might break, man.
Yeah, it might be over.
He might kill, but it's like, will they give him, if he does somehow kill it? Because this is like, apparently, I don't know how much of it's real or fake, but he is like slashing all these different like bureaucratic bodies, and maybe they get better. I don't know, but
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
It could be. Honestly, or nothing will change.
True.
Yeah.
Or it's just we're all reading headlines like, oh, it's just the same, just dark machinery.
Just zonked out. Well, because you see these videos that go like, I saw a woman yesterday, she's crying online and she got all this like attention, hate for sure. It was all hate.
Yeah.
And she got all this hate about, she's like, I'm gay and I'll never be able to walk down the aisle. Like Trump is going to take away all my rights as a woman and as a gay woman. And then like the infighting underneath that, it's the most entertaining thing on fucking planet Earth. It's unbelievable. Like that should be the news. The news should just be a channel of rotating comment infighting about these videos.
It kind of is the news. A lot of news is like people are angry at blah, blah, blah. You know, and it'll be like people are mad at Joe Rogan because of X, Y, and Z. And then it'll just be like 17 comments. And they're like, see, everyone's pissed at him. And it's like, this is just internet comments. You're just giving me internet comments.
That's how I know we're in a fucking fantasy time that's not even real. That what's the girl from The View that went after Rogan?
Behart.
Yeah. And said he's like, this guy believes in and dragons. That's one of the funniest clips. And then Joe's like, this guy believes in dragons. He's mocking her. Dude, it's such a hilarious side-by-side. It's just, that's where we are now. The View is commenting on Rogan is so funny to me, dude. It's so funny.
Well, they clearly, I mean, maybe, I don't know if I'm just making this up, but those networks do definitely get their talking points from some sort of agendized, like, directive think tank.
100%.
Like, they definitely do. And it's like, and
100%.
Rogan's a threat because he has millions of viewers. He's now kind of like, you know, favoring Republicans. And the same with Tesla. Like, Tesla has X, so they got to take those two guys down strategically.
Right.
Just so they can, like, build oil pipelines in Ukraine, whatever the fuck they're trying to do.
Dude, whatever's going on in Ukraine, dude.
Great.
What's going on over there, dude?
I don't know.
Call Zelensky.
They have
Call him
Nazis.
up.
They have Nazis, apparently.
Do they?
I think so.
There's Nazis in
I
Ukraine
think
now?
There are like a lot of Nazis in Ukraine.
God damn,
I
dude.
think they're like a strong faction of just like straight up. Apparently, there's Nazis in Utah. I've heard northern Utah.
This part makes a lot of sense to me.
I've
for
heard
some
northern
reason.
Utah
Yeah.
is like Nazis.
Utah feels like if I was a Nazi, that's where I would go. It feels like home.
True, Nazi paradise.
Yeah, it's Nazi paradise, dude, out there. Big streets, hills. Also, Utah, Salt Lake. I've always loved Salt Lake. Every time I go play, I'm like, this is such a fucking beautiful city. But then the more you sink into it, the more it feels a little bit, what's that? You know, tiny boxes on the hill, Stepford shit.
Stepford vibes,
where it feels
yeah.
extremely like
There's something
formatted. You're almost
yeah.
like, what built this?
Yeah, man.
It feels very like this. It's quiet. It's organized. It's very like pristine. Like no one's really out of order. It is not, because that's when you walk around a city like LA or New York or like you feel things that are that are broken. You're like, nice, good.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels human again.
Yeah.
You know, you can see the cracks. But there you're like, there's no cracks and nothing feels out of order. It's really creepy to me.
Yeah, well, don't they like? I think in Utah, in Salt Lake City, they have to like they can only serve you so much liquor, and they almost have to like write down. There's like limits on how many
percentages.
shots.
So they brew beer specifically for. They have a limit on how much alcohol. So a regular Budweiser or whatever has less alcohol content there.
Yeah.
Right. So they brew specifically for that, and they are I think they have a regulation over how much they can serve you,
And like
they
liquors,
close early.
They close early because I thought there'd be like I thought Mormons were like Amish people. There'd be like 4 of them. You'd see them. You're like, oh look, they're like they run the whole city.
No, they run that
They're
shit, dude.
everywhere. And it is nice. It's very I kind of like it, but
It's
like
beautiful.
It is creepy. You like everywhere you go, something's just off. Every interaction you have, you're just like, what the fuck?
You need to feel a little bit of fear is good. You need a little bit of a threat. You need to be like, oh man, something could hurt me in this world. That's like when we were just down in Australia. It's like because so many of these animals down there don't have any predators. There's no natural predators.
Yeah.
That like the animals are worthless, disgusting creatures.
Yeah.
Like kangaroos, you're like they're incredible. And then you see them, you're like these things fucking gross. There's a big weird rat.
They do suck.
Kangaroos suck. Yeah, they suck. You think it's gonna be dope, and you're like, I don't know, man. It's just like a big fucking rat, a lazy weird rat.
Dude, that was pretty disappointing to see them. I was in Australia and I saw them just like laying around, and you're like, you could feed them and shit, and it was like,
you grab them, they don't do shit.
Yeah, those ones are pretty docile. Did you hold the koala bear or the? It was a koala.
Yeah.
They tell you have fucking syphilis.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, what the fuck is?
Yeah. Why'd you give it to me then?
Yeah, I don't want this thing.
They're like, oh no, mate, it's all right. You can't get it. He's like, I think so. We went to touch the quokkas too, same thing. But those things are just they're just big rats. Everything is a big rat. Everything there is a big fucking rat, and a koala's a rat without a tail. They're just lazy, sad. Because nothing's gonna kill them.
They also fall. They fall from super high and they don't die for some reason.
Well, because they pass out. They just it's like 30 feet, 40 feet. Yeah, they bounce like a motherfucker.
They just eat it. It's crazy. But yeah, Australia was. Did you go in there? So you went in there wintertime, basically.
We just went. We just got back 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. How was the jet lag?
Awful for these guys. You know why? Because nobody fucking listened to me, dude. I even said it. They didn't fucking listen to me because I said we were leaving from Perth, which is the furthest west.
Yeah.
And so I said, on the first leg to Sydney, I was like, do not sleep.
Yeah,
don't sleep.
Stay up.
Don't sleep because the flight we planned home, I go, when we leave, then we'll land in LA at noon.
Yeah.
So you'll be good. So sleep on the second leg as much as you can. Stay up on the first chunk of the second leg and then pass out. All these dildos. I saw Bobby. I was making fun of Bobby. He's on his iPad and I look over to go to sleep and I go, he's in the other, and I go, try to go to sleep. And he's just like, right back to his fucking iPad, dude. He was up the whole fucking time. So these guys were clipped for how many days? 4 days?
I mean, I still have remnants of it.
Crazy.
I mean,
dude, I got fucked. Yeah. I was like, I'll never go back because of that. I went to like Vancouver with Shane, flew out of Vancouver to Australia. The flight there fucked me up. I had heart palpitations for like 6 days. And then I finally started to adjust. And by the time I did that, we were there for like 12 days or 14, whatever. And then I flew out, stayed up all night. We did a show the last night. By the time I got back to the hotel, it was like 1 a.m. The flight was at like 7 a.m. So I didn't sleep really. So we had to get to the airport so early. And then I stayed up pretty much the whole flight back for the most part. And then all the way to the East Coast, got dropped off into the Newark airport, had to drive back to Philly from Newark after flying. And just got home and my wife was like, finally, you're back. You have to take the kids. And I was like,
zombie
I was
dad.
fucked for like a week and a half.
Yeah, it's fucked awful. Up. Well, we jumped so many time zones because we went Sydney, and then we did Auckland, then we did Brisbane, Adelaide, Melbourne, then Perth. So we jumped way too many time zones anyway. We did 10 shows in 12 days. 10 shows.
Australia is huge, dude. Like those flights, stupid. I'm like, they'll be like 20-minute flights.
Nope.
Like 4-hour flights.
Yeah, it was dumb. That was the dumbest. It was great, but it was the dumbest travel we've ever done. Like we should have planned that a little bit better. Because when they sell you on it, they're like, dude, then you'll just go to the next show the next night. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, this would be great.
You're like, what about another night? You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we just said yes to all of it. And then as we got there, we were like, fuck, dude, this is a bad idea. This is genuinely a bad idea. Yeah, but it was worth it. I mean, it was cool because people don't go down there as much. Like performers don't go as much. So when you do go down there, the love was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I had a blast when I was there. Everyone was cool as shit.
Yeah,
I was just like, the flight sucks so bad. I'm like, people are like, well, you can go like stop in Hawaii for 2 days. It's like,
no, dude, I'm not gonna fucking stop in Hawaii.
Dedicate a month to my life to watch. I'm not doing this.
No, that is so funny. Stop in Hawaii.
Yeah, stop in Hawaii for like a week and then go there. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll
chill in Hawaii.
Retire. I'll just retire in Australia. I'll just move there.
I'll just stop. I'll just end up in French Polynesia and just fucking call it a day. This is it. When I first went to Australia, the first thought was the first day I had jet lag and I was solo when I was there 2 years ago, and I was sitting in my hotel room and I was by myself and no one was there yet from the crew the movie we were doing, and I had like a little bit of a panic attack and I thought, I'm so far from home.
Dude, it's weird.
I'm so far from home that if anything happened, I'm absolutely fucked. I'm stuck.
Dude. And then you talk to someone from home and you feel like you're in the future. They're like, it's yesterday. And you're like, what?
What happened?
What are you talking about?
What's going on over there,
You're
dude?
going to sleep right now? I'm just waking. It
Yeah.
like completely. And then I would like at nighttime, I would see the constellations and I'm like, I don't recognize these.
Yeah,
I'm on the total different part of the fucking world.
We talked about that, yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was having like heart palpitations and Shane kept laughing at me. I was like, dude, I'm telling you, my body is like a different electrical pole. And he was like, will you shut the fuck up?
It's true, though.
I'm like, it's electric, dude. I'm having my electricity in my body's freaking out. He's like, dude, shut the fuck up about the electricity in your body.
That is a real thing, dude.
I know it
You're
is.
upside down. You're the
That's what I'm saying.
We said the other, because some of the constellations are the same, they share, but they have ones that you do not see.
It was freaking me out.
It's fucking
Even living,
tight.
I like him in Texas now, and I look at the sky and I'm like, oh, what the fuck is that?
Are you guys going to stay in Texas, you think?
I think so. I like it.
You
I
do.
actually love it a lot. And yeah, it's whatever it is, like especially with kids, I don't want to move them around. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
tough for
by
them.
the time the oldest is 6, like it's just we're locking it in and like just doing a shift wherever.
One of the greatest guys to fucking move here, Matt fucking McCusker. That's my.
All right, dude, look, I appreciate you. You're on tour right now. You're playing tonight. Obviously, this will be out after that, but you have other dates lined up? You
Yeah.
wanna
They're all.
Tell the kids the dates.
December's pretty much off, but I have. Let me bust
Yeah,
them out.
bust it out, dude.
I'm not even gonna
Talk
pretend.
about it.
Where's my phone? It's mattmccusker.com, MCCUSKER. You're not going to remember that, but go to
Yeah,
Matt
but we'll put it in the
McCusker.
description below.
There you go.
MattMcCusker.com will be in the description down below in the on the YouTubes.
Yeah, and let me just give you a quick thing.
Do it, baby.
Funny Bone, Ohio. I'll be there January. Dania Beach, Florida. Funny Bone, Columbus, Ohio. It's a different Funny Bone in Ohio.
A lot of
Just
Funny Bones.
Michigan, all over the place. Go to mattmccusker.com.
Go to mattmccusker.com. We'll put it in the description. Go see him. You're one of the funniest people I fucking am privileged to just started to get to know, man.
Thank
You're
you,
a
bro.
fucking
You're
great
a fucking
dude.
man.
We end the show the same way. You look in that camera. You say one word or one phrase to end the episode. Kind of impart wisdom or whatever comes to mind to end the episode.
Oh, man.
You're deep. You're a deep man. I feel like something's brewing in there.
Yeah, just one word.
No, you could do a phrase too. One word or a phrase. It used to be a word, but then people were like, "Oh, I want to say."
Give me a phrase.
Yeah,
Dude,
you
you know what the last book, the book I'm reading right now, I like a lot. It's called Money and the Meaning of Life. And it's like this meandering long thing, but the thing I really like is like, again, talking about like your base natures and your higher ideals, and you can't ignore your base natures. And he was talking about the idea that like, if you take like the worship of money or fame or status, he's like, it's a real force and it's not something you should try to cut yourself off from or be like, I'm better than that. But you have to relegate it to being the second most important thing in your life. Like sex, all that stuff. It's like, you can't be ashamed of it. It's there. But just make it the second most
important thing.
Yeah, be a pig, be a gross, greedy pig. We all are naturally, but just try to make it the second most important thing in life.
Perfect, dude.
I love that. I've been thinking about that for a couple
that is
days.
good. Make it the second most important thing.
Second most important.
Be a pig.
Yeah.
Second.
In here, we pour whiskey, 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 whiskey.
You're that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.